Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I am actually going to be reviewing a foundation. I'm not doing this as a first impression. I've actually already tried the foundation quite a number of times now and I'm going to be doing it as a review. I will also show you a little demo of me using the products and how I apply it. So the foundation, if you haven't already told by the title, is the Revolution Conceal and Define foundation. I do have two shades. I got this off of Revolution Direct because the Superdrug that I have near me didn't have it in stock at that point. So I picked up two shades. First shade I actually picked up was F4, which when it arrived I realised it was a little bit too warm tone, so I got the other shade. And then I am also showing you the Revolution Conceal and Define concealer, and I have one in the jumbo size and one in the regular. This one more like matches my face and this one's a little bit better for highlighting. So what I will do is I will show you the demo of me actually wearing the foundation and how I apply it and what I think's best right now, and then we'll come back and talk about it. So here we go. So with this foundation I love to use a combo of these two products. I love to use the Skindinavia Makeup Primer Spray and the Benefit Professional. So I'm just going to start by spraying this all over my face. And just let that dry. And then take the Benefit Professional. Then for foundation, as you already know, I'm using the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I do actually have two shades. The first shade that I actually ordered was F4, and it is okay, it's just a little bit warm for me, so I then ordered F3, and I'm just mixing the two together, which actually gives me the perfect colour, so that's really good. So I'm just mixing the two together just on my face. So if I just do... With this foundation you don't need tons of it, like it's really full coverage. It's really good as well. Just pop little dots, a little bit much there. I'm just doing it to even it out now. There we go. Oh, look, there we go. So now that that's on, I'm just going to be blending it in with the Real Techniques brush in 301. You might have seen this in my collective haul. I've been loving this brush for just buffing it in. Just gives a really nice coverage when you use this brush. It's not too cakey, but you've got beautiful coverage. You can use a sponge to blend this in if you want to. I have tried that method and I did really like it, but I've just been preferring using this and really buffing it into the skin. You don't need to be really neat when you're doing this either, like making sure that it's all in certain areas. When you're buffing it in, it literally just spreads to where you want it to anyway. It barely takes any time at all to buff this in, which is what I really like, because some foundations, when they are quite full coverage, they can take a while to kind of blend into the skin, and this does not take long at all. Like, just look at that, it's just completely evened out all of my skin. You can't see my pores or anything like that. They're not that visible anyway at the moment. It just blends into the skin beautifully and it is a great match for me. Is them two colours mixed together. Maybe if I'd have just got F3 that might not have matched either. So I really like this kind of coverage, and I like the fact that you can build it up as well, because as you can see, you can still see like a few little things on my face, but I've quite been liking just doing this and then just concealing the areas that I need to. I've been really liking the way that this sits on the face. Then to conceal, I also have two shades in the concealer, because when I actually originally bought it, I got it in the shop. I could only actually get the little one and I got it in C3, which is okay. It does match, it more like matches my skin rather than highlighting it. So then when I ordered the other shade of the foundation, I ordered the lighter shade and I ordered it in the jumbo one. So the first thing I'm going to go in with is C3, and I've just got a little spot here and it has covered it really well, like a lot of the redness is gone, but I'm just going to put a bit of extra just on it just to give it a tiny bit more coverage, just so that then we definitely can't see it. And I'm going to use my sponge just to do this, just so that then it definitely just pushes it into that area. Then I'm going to do my under eyes, and I'm going to use the Jumbo Super Size Concealer in the Conceal and Define, and this is in shade 2. And just do my normal method that I do. Take your sponge and just blend it in. If you watched any of my other videos, then you know that I don't really like to blend my under eye concealer with a brush. I've never really liked to do that, so I feel as though this just gives a lot better coverage when doing this. Right, the only thing I have noticed about this concealer is that normally I go back in and just do these areas right here, just on mine, because I do have quite dark under eyes. And when I've just straight applied it like I normally would and then blended it in, it's as if it actually makes it look worse. I don't know if it's the build-up of the product or what. So what I've actually been finding, that if I do that and take it onto the sponge directly and then do it, it's not as bad. But it's not a great concealer to build up under your eyes. So that is a good tip, by the way. And it's the only concealer that I've ever actually found this with, because I do this all the time. It's the only concealer I've actually found that I've got to be really careful when going back over, which I find quite strange. But anyway, it looks okay in the end, so that's the main thing. Then I'm just going to be popping a little bit on my chin, a bit on my nose, and just on the top of my forehead, and just then blend this in. All I'm doing is just highlighting the centre of my face just to blend it in, just so that it all matches in together. And there we go. This is what the foundation and concealer is looking like. I'll just zoom in, so I'll zoom the camera in as well, so you can see what my face is actually looking like. So it is really nice. It does sit really nice on the skin. It does sit quite matte as well, like it is dry to the touch, like it doesn't transfer, which I think is quite nice. I have wore it actually. Just zoom me back out, we don't want to be that close all the time. I have wore it actually, not fully powdering it, and just kind of like powdering my under eyes in certain areas just to see how it would last that way, and it did last pretty well actually. So now we'll just go back into the review. Right, so now that you've just seen how I apply the foundation and how I like to apply it and things, and what I think is best for my skin, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the product. I think this foundation is really good. It is really good at keeping your skin matte for quite a long time. I have worn it quite a lot of times already, so I know how long it lasts. I can normally get at least 6 hours without topping it with powder at all. It doesn't break away or anything, it's just that my face gets shiny. My face gets shiny anyway, so that's just the normal for me. But I have had this foundation on for 12 hours at one point, and it did not budge. The only difference is that obviously it got shiny. I just powdered it a little bit and it was still absolutely fine. Like, it was flawless. It didn't break down. It didn't wear off. And it's such a full coverage that you don't need a lot of product. Well, as you just saw it in my demo part, you don't need a lot of product at all. It's like 2 dips and that does my whole face. I do one in this and one in that, and that's it. It just gives your skin a beautiful flawless finish, and it doesn't feel flat either, which some matte foundations sometimes I think can make it feel as though it's sucking like all of the moisture out of your skin, which, yes, if you have oily skin you want it to stay matte, but you don't want to feel as though it's got no moisture in it at all, because then what happens is your skin is trying to bring back more oil, so that then it kind of it's got a bit of moisture in it, so your skin winds up getting oilier than what it would have done in the first time. So yeah, overall I absolutely love this foundation. It has been a staple in my everyday makeup routine so far. I haven't used another foundation since I got it, apart from when I did my cat look, because I thought I don't want to show the foundation in that video without doing my review on it, because I thought, well, then you'll know what I think about it. So I had to use another foundation, and when I used something else I was like, oh my god, it's so weird to use something different. Like, I think I mixed like 2 foundations together to get like the coverage of what this gives in like barely anything. So the concealer is really good, but like I said in my demo, I do have that little problem where I can't really build it up as much as what I can with normal concealers, but other than that, it's absolutely fine. For a normal person who probably doesn't have super bad dark under eyes, then it would be absolutely fine. It doesn't crease really that much, not that I've noticed anyway. I've not noticed a lot of creasing with it, so yeah. And for the price point, it's amazing. Like the foundation is £9, the little concealer's £4, and I think this is £7 or something. It's just, it's one of them things. To be honest, you don't need both of these concealers. I probably should just say that. They are literally exactly the same. It's just the fact that it's bigger. So if you want more product, then just go for the bigger one. The applicator is obviously slightly bigger. I will show you all 3 sizes. So we've got, so as you can see, it is just slightly bigger on the this is the jumbo one, so it is obviously bigger. And then I'll show you the foundation one. Like, this is massive in comparison. So we've got them 2 there, and then there's the big daddy. There we go. So like I said, like you don't need both concealers. Like, it's up to you which one you go for. It's whether you want the bigger applicator or the smaller applicator. So this is just my thoughts on the foundation and the concealer. I do really like it, and for the price point, I can't get over how good it is. Some foundations that you might spend like nearly £30 on aren't even this good. So the fact that it's such a good foundation and such a small price point as well. I will leave the Revolution website link down below, so that then you can check it out if you want to. And then obviously there's loads of different shades as well, which is really good. They do loads for different skin tones. They go really light to really dark, which I think is amazing. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please give it a big like, and then hit the subscribe button down below. And then I will see you in my next one. Alright, bye guys.